Hi there, everyone. A good and a happy Thursday to you. I am King 5 Meteorologist Adam Claibon here on a day that's been a lot more cloudy, and that sun, well, it's gone for now, but we should see more heading into the day on Friday. Some sprinkles possible tonight and into the day tomorrow, but most of the rain holds off until we head into the weekend, and it is going to be a pretty wet period. Some dry times too. We'll kind of time that all out for you. Plus, we'll talk about later on into next week how there are going to be some light showers around, but the big action as far as more heavy and widespread rain doesn't come until the very end of next work week. Again, got another Mariners and Blue Jays game, so let's talk about the forecast for tomorrow because the game tonight's already started. So let's talk about what's ahead for Game 5. We'll see partly to mostly cloudy skies out there. Temperatures around the mid to upper 50s. Going to be an earlier start to the game too, as that first pitch is expected to be at 3:08 p.m. Let's go Mariners. All right, so tomorrow's forecast is looking like it could feature a few showers, and we could definitely still use a lot more rain because checking out our latest drought monitor just released this morning shows a lot of that severe and extreme drought still across a good chunk of western Washington and really for the entire state as a whole. You can see a lot of that extending across central and eastern Washingtons too. So the rain recently didn't really help out a whole lot, but the rain that we're going to see here into the weekend, that should help out just a bit more. Just a few of those showers out there for early tomorrow morning. More to come into the second half of the day on Saturday and more on into Sunday. Going to be pretty wet time. If you have any indoor plans, probably best to do those here into that late Saturday into early Sunday time frame. Check out the highs too, in the 50s all the way through tomorrow and into next Thursday. We're going to see temperatures in the 40s during those overnight hours, and well, there's some decent amount of rain ahead with some of those chances of rain. We'll talk about that here as we head into the bit. First though, let's take a look out here towards the north coast where we will have the best chance of maybe noticing a few sprinkles out there later tonight or into early Friday, while areas here closer to Tacoma just start noticing cloudy skies here into our Thursday evening. Same deal for us here in Seattle. Winds are currently coming out of the south at 7 miles per hour. Temperatures holding pretty steady in the upper 50s. Later on into the night, a lot of clouds out there, just not too much rain. We'll see temperatures only dip down into the low 50s because we are expecting the clouds to kind of hold that warmth in just ever so bit more. Now, radar does have some of those returns popping up, and that's where we are currently seeing some of those extremely light showers out there. But big picture is system off to the north, which is really where the core of that system is, that area of low pressure. That's where the deeper moisture is, and so that's where you're going to have a lot more of the rain and the mountain snow as you head up into BC and Alberta. Down this way, we're kind of cut off from a lot of that, so just generally clouds and maybe a patchy area of drizzle as this begins to move on by, and then we'll see more sunshine as we head on into tomorrow afternoon. High pressure moving off to the south now. That's going to be far away for us for some time. Here's a look at Futurecast. You can see some of those showers out there towards the coast trying to work their way eastward, but not really making much headway. A lot of clouds here through the night and early into tomorrow. We'll get those sprinkles out of here, and then we'll start to clear out just a bit. That's 2 p.m. tomorrow afternoon, and I think a good amount of sunshine could be ahead for us as we head on into that stretch of time. And clear skies initially as we head into tomorrow night, but then clouds coming back in. Saturday morning, here we are at 8 o'clock. Mainly cloudy conditions. Rain, again, just off of the coast, should be working its way eastward by the latter half of the day on Saturday. And here we are at Saturday night at 9 p.m. And that's when you are starting to see more of that steady rain really beginning to pick up at that point. And this is going to be that window where we see a lot of those totals beginning to rise as we head into the nighttime hours. And that hangs with us into the day on Sunday as well. And just more showers to come as we head on into that point. Snow levels getting down to about 5,000, maybe 4,500 feet into the day on Sunday. So not a big snow producer, but something that we'll have to keep an eye out for as this continues to work its way on through. And we'll keep those chances again of rain and mountain snow in play as we head on into that point. Let's first talk about rain. Here as we go throughout the very early half of the day on Sunday, you can see anywhere between about a half an inch to maybe an inch of rain will be ahead for many of us. Some rain shadowed spots north of Seattle where you get some of that rain shadowing from off of the Olympics around Everett and Mount Vernon. May see just a bit less, between about a tenth to maybe a quarter to a third of an inch of rain. We'll see what happens with that. And then looking at what's happening with the potential for mountain snow, again, wouldn't say there's going to be a whole lot really popping up for us, but if we are to see anything, maybe a couple of inches here and there through the early half of the day on Sunday. Second half of the day on Sunday and into maybe Monday, getting an inch or so out there across areas. Probably better chances around Stevens Pass or White Pass. Snoqualmie Pass will probably be a bit too low, and maybe up around Mount Baker getting another inch or two as we head on into that point in time. And then we continue on into next work week, and this is when we start to see some of this active weather hanging around for us. Now that's Monday, kind of limited chances with that rain, and most of the rain is actually heading off to the north. Now that weak front will push on through on Tuesday. That's going to keep us a little unsettled, see a bit more of the clouds and maybe a few showers to go along with that. But then once we head on into Wednesday, we're kind of in between systems, drying out then. Thursday, this is when the rain starts to become a bit more widespread. And we'll see after that, that's when we could maybe start to notice some heavier rain coming back into the picture for us. And you can see all that blue popping up across the mountains of British Columbia. That's going to be their coastal range up there. That is heavy snow for the mountains just off to the north. We'll see how far south we can get that snow level to start to drop for us too, and if we can start to pile on some of that snow into the latter part of next work week. But as far as us looking forward to something that might be a bit more impactful, that will be the time. Late next work week and possibly heading into the following weekend, as we can possibly get a bit more of this active weather to hit not only just us across the Pacific Northwest, but you can see it goes all the way down the West Coast and makes its way down into parts of Northern California as well. Back to tonight, though, looks like we'll drop lows only into the upper 40s and low 50s, so a bit of a milder night or a less cool night as opposed to what we've been noticing earlier into the week. And as we head into the day tomorrow, a lot of those clouds around upper 50s to low 60s for highs. We'll get that sunshine by the afternoon, though, and we'll start to warm those numbers up closer to that 60-degree mark. As far as the weekend, it's not a washout, but Saturday evening, Saturday night, and into a lot of the day on Sunday, we'll expect to see a decent amount of rain in the forecast at that point. Not as many dry times as we head on through that time frame. By Monday, only a few showers around, and kind of more hit or miss in nature for Monday and Tuesday as highs remain in the 50s and start to bounce back closer to the 60-degree mark with a dry day on Wednesday, and then some of that active weather starting to come back to the picture for us as we head on into next Thursday. All right, everyone. Well, enjoy your Thursday night. If you get hit by a sprinkle or two out there, you'll be one of the few, but for the weekend, get prepared. And if you have any outdoor plans, try to make sure that you have maybe some alternative options so you don't get wet. All right, everyone, take care. Have a great Thursday night. Let's go M's, and we'll talk to you soon.